Okay, so here's a short video on 3.1. Remember, you're going to learn this on your own, and you're going to have a quiz on this next block. Chapter 3 is all about parallel and perpendicular lines. 3.1 is on identifying lines and angles. This stuff is all review with the exception of skew lines, but I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Parallel lines, you should know that there are two lines that don't intersect, and here there are two coplanar lines that do not intersect. That's the formal term. So they mean that they are two lines that are on the same plane and they don't intersect. That's important because we're going to talk about skew lines also. Know that this symbol means parallel. So to read this statement, it says line L is parallel to line M, which is what's in the picture. Skew lines, comparing it to parallel lines, skew lines are two lines that are not coplanar, that do not intersect. So if you can imagine the ceiling and the floor and having a line on the ceiling and a line on the floor, they're two different planes, and if I have a line on the ceiling and a line on the floor, they're never going to intersect. And that's what's in this picture. So this line K is on one plane, this line N is on another plane. They're skew because they never intersect and they're on two different planes. Perpendicular lines, that should be reviewed also. There are two lines that intersect at a right angle. The symbol for that is an upside down T. So this reads as line L is perpendicular to line M, which is what we see in the picture. Skew is new, parallel and perpendicular should be reviewed to you. These are going to be important because those are building blocks for chapter 3. Over here we have a diagram with a lot of new terms. This is what you're going to be taking your quiz on. So I want you to be able to identify and know what these kinds of angles are. So if you look at our picture first, I have two lines, this one's P and this one's Q. Line M goes through the middle. Line M is considered the transversal because it intersects both of these lines. So M is the transversal, P and Q are just random lines. Sometimes P and Q are going to be parallel, but in 3.1 they don't necessarily have to be parallel. First one I want to talk about is corresponding angles. So it's a pair of angles in the same location. I want you to see that there's two kind of intersections here. If we look at these intersections and look for the angles that are in the same location, those are pairs of corresponding angles. So if I pick this location up and dropped it on top of this one, 1 and 5 would be in the same location. So 1 and 5 we can call corresponding angles. 2 and 6 would be in the same location. We can call them a pair of corresponding angles. 4 and 8, same location corresponding, and 3 and 7, same location corresponding. Alternate interior angles, pair of angles that are between two lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. These are the two lines. When they say between, here's the inside of the lines, here's the outside of the lines. So they're saying that they're on the inside of the lines, so here, and they're on opposite sides of the transversal. Here's our transversal, here's opposite sides. So 3 and 5 are alternate interior, 4 and 6 are alternate interior. So again, on the inside of the lines, opposite sides of the transversal is alternate interior angles. Alternate exterior angles, similar idea. There are two lines on the outside of the two lines and opposite sides of the transversal. Here's the inside of the two lines, here's the outside. So alternate exterior is 2 and 8. They're on the outside of the two lines, opposite sides of the transversal. 1 and 7, outside of the lines, opposite sides of transversal. So those are two sets of alternate exterior angles. One more kind of angles, consecutive interior angles. So it's a pair of angles on the inside of the lines and on the same side as the transversal. So remember, 3 and 5 and 4 and 6 were alternate interior. Consecutive interior is 3 and 6 and 4 and 5. So they're on the inside of the two lines and on the same side of the transversal. Remember, this is our transversal. So 3 and 6 are consecutive interior, 4 and 5 are consecutive interior. What I want you to know, be able to identify is these 4 terms, and that's what you'll be quizzed on next time. You'll have a picture similar to this, and you'll have to identify corresponding alternate interior, alternate exterior, and consecutive interior angles. And of course, I'll go over any questions you have beforehand. Here's your homework that I'd like you to do that of course is due next block.